think that something that's so interesting is that you have risen, you ran a campaign, and we have seen many popular politicians now running campaigns that highlight issues which are characterized as fringe and on the left, but which have a plurality of support among not even just Democratic voters, but Republican voters as well. So why do you think it's taken so long to get candidates who are pushing issues like Medicare for all, a Green New Deal, $15 minimum wage to the foreground?
I think it's because, you know, I'll kind of go back with a story, because even though people, you know, they try to characterize my district as far left and, oh my God, every socialist in America lives in like East Bronx and Queens or whatever, like but there are a lot of Trump voting pockets of my district. And I talked to these folks, and I'll never forget, you know, and there are parts of my district that look like the middle of the country, believe it or not. And I'll never forget this one older woman who came to me and said, you know, I always voted Democrat because growing up, my dad told me that Democrats are the people that fight for the working man. And we stopped. And the working man and woman and people is the majority of this country. And so what I think we saw was now both parties, frankly, abdicated their responsibility, and it was just no one was fighting for working people who were struggling. And so as a result, it almost created this opportunity, and you can take all of this anger and direct it to a negative and destructive end that allows a small group of people to benefit a great amount, or you have to take a really bold stances to bring it the other way and direct it to the possibility of what we can accomplish together. And I think the thing that is really hard for people to sometimes see is that when we are on this path of a slow erosion and a slow, just like move away from what we've always been, we'll be 100 miles, you won't even realize that you've drifted 100 miles. So when someone's talking about our core, it's like, oh, this is radical. But this isn't radical, this is what we've always been. Mm-hmm. It's just that now we've strayed so far away from what has really made us powerful. And just and good and equitable and productive. And so I think all of these things sound radical compared to where we are, but where we are is not a good thing. And this idea of like 10% better from garbage shouldn't be what we settle for. It's like this, like, it feels like moderate is not a stance, it's just an attitude toward life of like,